Hello and welcome to Numerous to Gold, bringing you the picks of the day for Friday, September 27th. It is 8:58 a.m. here in California, 11:58 East Coast U.S. time. We are quickly getting to the end of the season, and so let's see. We'll do videos today, Friday. We'll do a video tomorrow. The last day of the season is Sunday. I'm not sure I will be able to make a video for that day. And then that will close the regular season. I will not be doing games for the playoffs or anything just because there's too few games. So I will try sometime next week to do a little retrospective of the model performance and lessons learned and so forth. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But let's continue with today and reviewing the picks from last time. So we only had two picks yesterday. They were both money line unders, and they both lost, unfortunately. Royals Nationals went 7-4, so that went over. Padres Dodgers was looking great. It was 2-0 Padres after 6, and then the Dodgers went off for 7 runs in the next 2 innings and ended 7-2, so we just missed the under 8.5. So we took a loss on both those games. We're down 2 units for the day and now down 6.84 units for the season. Combined totals and money line. Total the model is up 10 units. Money line is down 17 units. We had no bets on the spreads. It remains down 9.4 units. Let's move on to today's action. Here are the games on the money lines. So, here's the probabilities models have come up with, and models telling us to look at just one home team and one away team. The home team it likes is the Red Sox. Thinks they are 61% to win, and so therefore says at -128 this is a good bet. Let's take a look. Money line -128. Yes, we're getting just -128 right here at Heritage. So let's go ahead and grab that Red Sox -128. And next, it's the Marlins visiting the Blue Jays. The model says to take the Marlins if you can get 173 or better. And here you see, we're getting +190 on the Marlins. So let's go ahead and do that Marlins +190. Okay, that's all we got for the money line. Let's take a look at the totals. Here are the points and the probabilities for the totals for the games today. Model is telling us to look at 3 unders, 1 over. First under is the Nationals and the Phillies. The point is 8.5. Model says to take it at -105 if you can get it. Nationals, Phillies. Let's click over to totals. Nationals, Phillies, and we want 8.5 -105. It does not look like we're going to get that. In fact, you see most of them have gone to 8 already, with DraftKings still at 8.5. So no bet there. Next up, the Brewers and the Mets. Point is 7.5. Model likes it at +103. Probably a stretch. Let's take a look at the Mets. Right here, we're getting -103 here at Heritage for under 7.5, but not +103. So no bet there. Next up, the Angels and the Rangers with Jacob deGrom pitching. And the model likes this one. I think part of the reason the model likes this one is because they're looking at Jacob deGrom, not really accounting for the fact that he hasn't pitched. He had a big 18-month gap. So they're counting his performance from long ago in sort of his rating. But still, let's go ahead and see if we can get see what we can get on this, because I don't think it's too far off. He has been a decent pitcher since he's come back. So let's take a look. Angels, Rangers, 7.5. We can get -105. All right, let's see. This is probably an old line, right? Yeah. So I can't trust any of the Caesars numbers anymore on this view. So, but I'll take over here 7.5 minus 113 at Heritage. So let's go ahead and do that. That's the Angels, Rangers, Angels. Under 7.5. And we had it at minus 113 over here. Okay. And then finally, one over. So whenever I see an over, you see a big discrepancy, minus 135 versus minus 105, and it's at Wrigley Field, I always have to check the weather. And if you check the weather, it says the winds are insane, blowing in at 20 to 25 miles an hour, sustained, gusting to 30 plus. So that's why we have this big discrepancy here where the model is saying, I love the over at 6.5. And the bookies are still kind of holding the line on it. So in this case, I'm not gonna touch this game. I think with winds blowing in at gusting to 30 miles an hour, it's a little too extreme. Usually if it's like 15 mile an hour winds or something, I'll usually just go ahead and follow the model, but this seems to be quite an extreme situation. So I'm not gonna, even though the model is saying to bet this here, in the absence of its knowledge of the weather, I'm not gonna mark it down as a pick. So for the totals, we're just gonna have the Rangers, Angels under 7.5 at minus 113. And then finally, let's move on to the spreads model. Here are the games and the probabilities against the spread. And we're looking at the same two games. The Red Sox minus 1.5. It says to take it if you get 179. Red Sox minus 1.5. We're not getting a 179. We're getting a 165. So no bet there. And then the Marlins plus 1.5. It says to take it at minus 119. So let's see, the Marlins plus 1.5. And you see we can get 112, minus 112 at circa. So let's go ahead and do that. Marlins plus 1.5, minus 112. Plus 1.5, minus 112. Okay. So that's all we got for today. So we got a few bets of each, a little bit of everything. We got 2 moneyline bets, Red Sox and Marlins. 1 under, Rangers, Angels under 7.5. And the Marlins again, plus 1.5. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.